let's dive into the colorful world of pop culture. Pop culture, popular culture, is a term that refers to ideas, attitudes, or images that are mainstream or popular in a society at a given time. It's like the pulse of society, reflecting what people are talking about, interested in, and engaged with. It's fascinating to see how pop culture shapes and is shaped by societal norms. It's like a mirror reflecting societal beliefs, attitudes, and behaviors, but it's also a shaper influencing those same beliefs, attitudes, and behaviors. Now, let's take a step back and look at where it all began. Historically, popular culture emerged with the rise of the mass media. Think about the radio, then the television, which allowed shared ideas and information to spread across wide audiences. As technology evolved, so did the spread of pop culture. It's incredible how the evolution of media technology has been a key driver in spreading pop culture. With each new invention, from the radio to the internet, the spread of popular culture accelerated, reaching more people more quickly. And of course, different eras had their own dominant themes in pop culture. Let's go back to the 1950s. Post-World War II, there was an explosion of new ideas and attitudes. The youth were rebellious, rock and roll was born, and television became a household item. Moving on to the 1960s and 70s, we saw the rise of counterculture movements, the civil rights movement, feminist movement, and anti-war protests. These were turbulent times, and pop culture played a big role in both reflecting and shaping societal attitudes. Now fast forward to the 80s and 90s, the era of materialism and the rise of consumer culture. This was the time of big brands, big hair, and the beginning of the digital age. Pop stars, movies, and television shows defined the era. And who could forget the rise of MTV, which played a massive role in shaping musical taste and trends. And then we enter the 2000s, the era of the internet and globalization. Suddenly, pop culture wasn't just local or even national. It was global. Ideas, trends, and fashion spread around the world in the blink of an eye. Social media platforms emerged, creating new spaces for the dissemination and discussion of pop culture. It's a whirlwind journey, isn't it? And here we are, now in an age where pop culture is at our fingertips, constantly evolving and more inclusive and diversified than ever before. Today, anyone with an internet connection can contribute to the pop culture narrative, and that's both exciting and challenging. This historical journey through the evolution of pop culture sets the stage for our exploration into modern day. Pop culture trends and how figures like Taylor Swift become significant players in this ever-evolving narrative. So, as we delve deeper into this course, keep in mind how pop culture has a reciprocal relationship with society, each shaping the other in a continuous dance. And with that, let's transition into examining some contemporary trends in pop culture and how they reflect or diverge from historical trends we just discussed. All right, now that we've dipped our toes into the vast pool of pop culture, let's take a step back to understand its historical evolution, shall we? It's a riveting journey that mirrors the socio-political and technological shifts across different eras. So, buckle up, and let's take a stroll down memory lane. Starting off, the post-war era of the 1950s was a boiling pot of change. The economy was booming, suburbia was blossoming, and a new wave of music, rock and roll, was hitting the airwaves. It was the era of Elvis Presley's hips and James Dean's rebel image. It's fascinating how the rebellious spirit of youth was echoed in the pop culture of the time. Moving on to the 1960s, a period of immense social and political upheaval. The civil rights movement, anti-war protests, the feminist movement, all these significant social waves were mirrored in the pop culture of the time. Music was a massive part of this, with artists like Bob Dylan and Joan Baez strumming the tunes of change. The Beatles invaded American shores, bringing with them a new wave of British pop culture. Then came the 1970s, the disco era characterized by flamboyant fashion and lively music. It is a time of experimentation and exploration mirrored in the vibrant pop culture scene. The silver screen was alight with new genres, exploring deeper societal issues, reflecting the collective consciousness of a society grappling with change. The 1980s brought a shift towards materialism and consumerism. It was the era of Michael Jackson, Madonna, and the explosion of cable TV. Pop culture became more commercial, more accessible, and more influential. the birth of MTV revolutionized the music scene, creating a new platform for artists and a new form of consuming music. Transitioning into the 1990s, the rise of the internet and the grunge movement marked the era. The pop culture scene was diversifying, mirroring the growing global connectivity. TV shows like Friends and The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air were not just American phenomena. They were global sensations thanks to the burgeoning global media networks. And here we are in the new millennium where digital technology has catapulted pop culture into a new stratosphere. Social media, streaming platforms, and the internet have democratized pop culture, making it a global, interactive, and ever-evolving entity. It's not just a reflection of society anymore. It's a massive part of the societal fabric woven into our daily lives, shaping and being shaped by the collective consciousness. Now, reflecting on this historical evolution, we'll delve deeper into the current trends in the next lecture, examining how modern-day pop culture is not just a continuation, but an evolution spurred by technological advancements and the global melding of ideas. The nuances of this evolution will be further explored as we dissect the impact of notable figures like Taylor Swift in shaping and being shaped by the contemporary pop culture narrative. All right, folks, let's now shift our focus towards a modern-day icon in the pop culture and music sphere, Taylor Swift, born on December 13, 1989, in Reading, Pennsylvania. Taylor Allison Swift displayed a flair for music at a tender age. By the time she was 14, she secured a music publishing deal, which, in retrospect, was a harbinger of her illustrious career. Now, moving on to her professional inception, her eponymous debut album, Taylor Swift, was released in 2006, which was a country music album that laid the foundation of her narrative style of songwriting, signature that has stayed with her through the years. As we journey through her discography, a noticeable evolution is apparent. Her second album, Fearless, released in 2008, not only won 4 Grammy Awards, but also signaled her growing influence in the country and pop music spheres. The Song Love Story, a modern-day Romeo and Juliet narrative, and You Belong With Me became anthems for many, illustrating her ability to resonate with a wide audience. The album Speak Now in 2010 showcased her maturity in songwriting, while Red in 2012 hinted at a more pop-centric sound, a transitional phase that was solidified in the 2014 album 1989. This album was a departure from her country roots into the realm of pop music, and oh, what a splendid transition it was, exemplified by hits like Shake It Off and Blank Space. Now, the narrative arc of her career took a more personal and political tone with the album's Reputation in 2017 and Lover in 2019. The former was a reaction to the public controversies surrounding her, while the latter was a celebration of love and inclusivity. But Taylor didn't stop there. Amidst a global pandemic, she released 2 indie folk albums, Folklore and Evermore, in 2020, which showcased a different musical style. One that was introspective and indie folk in nature. It was a testament to her versatility as an artist. What's intriguing about Taylor Swift is not just her musical evolution, but her knack for narrative storytelling. Her ability to resonate with audiences across age groups, and her skill in navigating the rough waters of fame and public scrutiny. Her music is not just a collection of songs. It's a narrative journey reflective of her personal and professional evolution. She's a modern-day icon who has navigated the realms of country, pop, and indie music with grace, resilience, and an undeniable knack for creating music that resonates. As we delve deeper in the following weeks, the nuanced examination of Taylor Swift's EraTour will provide a lens through which we can further explore the symbiotic relationship between pop culture and the music industry, and how artists like Taylor Swift play a pivotal role in shaping and reflecting the contemporary pop culture narrative. Now that we've traversed through Taylor Swift's musical journey, let's hone in on the facet of brand and public image, both of which are quintessentially intertwined with her music. From the outset, Taylor Swift's brand has been one of relatability and authenticity. Her narrative style of songwriting, often drawing from personal experiences, created a connection with her audience that is palpably intimate. In her early career, her image was that of the girl next door, with country tunes that resonated with a young, largely female audience. This image was fostered not just through her music, but also through her public appearances, social media interactions, and music videos. As we segue into the era of the 1989 album, a perceptible shift in her brand can be noted. She embraced a more mainstream pop persona, yet retained her narrative songwriting style. Her image became more polished, her interactions more curated, yet the essence of relatability remained intact. Now, the Reputation era marked a significant pivot in her brand. Here we saw a Taylor Swift confronting public controversies, media scrutiny, and personal feuds through her music. The album cover, a monochrome image of Swift amidst newspaper headlines, was emblematic of her navigating the tumultuous waters of fame and public perception. Transitioning into the Lover and the subsequent indie folk era of Folklore and Evermore, we witness Taylor Swift, who's more introspective, mature, and perhaps more shielded from the public eye. Yet her brand of authenticity and narrative storytelling remains a cornerstone. It's enthralling to see how Taylor Swift's brand has evolved, yet retained core elements that make it distinctively Taylor. Her adeptness at managing her image, navigating controversies, and maintaining a strong connection with her fan base are exemplary. Moreover, her foray into political and social advocacy in recent years, advocating for LGBTQ rights and voicing her political opinions, adds a new layer to her brand, showcasing a celebrity using her platform for broader societal conversations. Taylor Swift's brand evolution is emblematic of the modern-day artist navigating the complex interplay of music, public image, and societal expectations. It's a nuanced dance, one that requires a keen understanding of the broader pop culture landscape, the music industry, and the ever-evolving public discourse. As we dissect the Taylor Swift EraTour in the upcoming weeks, the understanding of her brand and image will provide a rich contextual backdrop, aiding in a deeper comprehension of her influence on pop culture and the music industry.